War and political instability are among other reasons as to why people flee from their birth countries to seek refuge in peaceful nations. A refugee is a person who has been forced to leave their country to escape war, persecution, or natural disaster.
Mimi amekuja hapa Kenya mwaka karibu 15 kutoka Ethiopia. Makosa salama yangu sababu serikali makosa kubwa sana shida ameletea sababu ameingia Kenya.
Toka Somalia Mkudisho, nimekuja hapa Kenya, nimekaa karibu sasa mwaka 9 hivi.
Karatasi ya polisi mbili ya kusumbuliwa na mtu ya Ethiopia ya zamani imetoroka huko, wananifuata nisumbua, na iko na karatasi mbili ya polisi ya hospitali. Mara nyingine iko na chapa mimi, hata saa hii imechapwa, iko kidonda saa hii Monday, medunga mtu na kisu, nasema na wewe ni refugee.
Kenya holds about 480,000 refugees in Dadaab and Kakuma camps and urban areas, many who come from South Sudan and Somalia. They have fled from their motherland countries majorly because of political differences between the government forces and that of the opposition, as in the case of South Sudan. Somalia has become an insecure state because of the jihadist fundamentalist group Al-Shabaab that is fighting the Somali government and African Union mandated peacekeeping force to take control of the country. This has often raised the issue of insecurity in correlation with refugees, which is not a fact according to senior communications officer at UNHCR Kenya spokesperson.
Well, in the context of Kenya, which is what I think you're referring to, there have been in the past perceptions of displaced communities, refugees, being linked to insecurity. But that connection has been unfounded and false. There's never been any connection between the displaced and insecurity or violence, particularly in Kenya. And unfortunately, in the past, refugee communities and populations, not just in Kenya but in other countries, have been scapegoated when there are security concerns. But it's a myth. It's a complete myth, and it's something that UNHCR has worked very hard to dispel and destigmatize refugee populations here who are perceived by some, and it's a very small minority, of being involved in any kind of insecurity.
In response to this, June 20th was established to mark World Refugee Day, which is aimed at raising awareness of refugees all over the world. The 2018 event took place at the University of Nairobi, which brought refugees together from all corners of town and its environs.
20th of June marks the beginning of international agreements and international law on refugees and the essential need to create a global policy, if you like, in which people who are fleeing persecution and conflict would be able to cross into another border, into another country. So it was 1951 that the International Convention on Refugees was agreed at the United Nations and signed by all the member states.
For many years, the Kenyan government has partnered closely with non-governmental organizations and other countries to provide basic access to rights, documents, and security for the evacuees. This is manageable through collaborations between UNHCR and Refugees Affairs Secretariat, which was formerly Department of Refugees Affairs, on the refugee registration system.
The government play a fundamental role in the inclusion of displaced communities, and in the context of Kenya, we're talking about nearly 500,000 refugees. The state plays an important role in making them feel welcomed, first of all, safe, protected, and fundamentally a part of Kenyan society.
According to UNHCR data, 78% of refugees in Kenya are women and children. Children who have succumbed to life-threatening situations while moving in look for safety.
people, when they think about refugees, they think about men fleeing from their countries into other countries. But invariably what we see at UNHCR, not just in the Kenya operation, but across East Africa and across the world, is that the vast majority of those who flee in situations of persecution, when there happens to be violence, are actually young people, children, usually minors, under 18, under 16, infants, and women. And when you go to places where you see and find displaced communities, you will often see that the vast majority of the victims are women and are children. The statistics are incredibly high. It is estimated that at least 70% of refugees are women and children. That's globally. So that's out of the 68.5 million displaced people we have, and over 50% are children.
Registration of children in particular is accurately done to help prevent military recruitment and safeguarding family unity, and in cases of separation, they are helped to reunite with their families. Parents' only hope and gift for their children is education, which, as it is said, is the key to success.
Napenda kama ni watoto wangu, napenda sana, ni watoto ni kitu muhimu na ni maua. Napenda sana wanisaidie watoto wangu wafikisha mpaka university, na ikiwa fuchao ikuwa mzuri wajitegemee wenyewe, wajisaidie wenyewe na wasaidie kesho watoto wao.
These children have been put in schools which are around the host community and in the camps to exercise right to education for child development, which will help them acquire positive attitude towards a bright future for both host and mother countries.
I like everything about my school. I like the teachers, the environment, and like day school where we come to school very early, we walk, and we have to go back in the evening. My message to girls is education is the key to life.
While the community also has a role to play in making refugees have a feel of a safe haven, even as an estimated 80,000 have voluntarily so far repatriated back home.
Nimepata usaidizi mingi kutoka kwa Wakenya. Kulala, chakula, kila kitu, matibabu, nimepata usaidizi. Kwani Wakenya ni watu wazuri sana. Wanalo mzuri.
Without question, all people who move between countries deserve full respect for their human rights and dignity, including children. However, refugees are a specifically defined and protected group in international law because the situation in their country of origin makes it impossible for them to go home. This is one reason why World Refugee Day should be an important initiative to highlight the plight of those who have escaped their home countries and are rebuilding their lives and the lives of their children.
Refugees are talented, they're amazing people, and they require just opportunities. They do not need handouts, they just need an opportunity and they will thrive.